Hello ladies and gentlemen to Zombies Tier Maker Tuesdays. This evening and for multiple evenings to come on Tuesday nights, we will be doing tier maker lists for multiple things. Today we'll be doing Treyarch Zombies maps and we've put a few rules in place. We are going to be ranking these maps on a week period from when they're released. The reason we're doing that is, for example, let's say a map that's gone out in the past and we've had a new Easter egg that completely changes how that plays. It's going to make this look stupid. We've gone through a week period already of every map and we'll go through every single one. If you also want to make a tier list at home, there'll be a link in the description for you all to do whilst you're watching this video. Let's get right into it. Now first off, we are going to be ranking Nacht der Untoten. Now, at the time of launch, we weren't expecting zombies. A week period, it was very addictive. I think that because you have no to compare it to at the time, it was really fun. I don't think I played a survival horde mode when this map released. It was actually my first introduction to it, and it was a pretty average, what I'd expect if you told me like this is what a survival horde mode is. Another thing I'm going to add quickly, because I forgot to mention this at the start by the way, is that I am not going to take long at choosing these picks, and that is because everyone at home does not think on these tier maker lists. They literally take 30 seconds and go, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, etc. So even though I might miss a few things, I haven't got anything written down by the way, that's just how tier maker is. People don't really think. Now Verrückt was a, oh god, I've moved my screen. Verrückt was a great improvement on Nacht in my personal opinion. It's a lot of it's a lot harder map in my personal opinion. I did like, I'd tell it to be a one Verrückt most, but of course not listing off that. I don't think it improved a lot Nacht, like in the sense of the actual map design. I feel like the map design kind of played the same. The Verrückt sprinters were a bit annoying. I guess for that on its own, would probably play on average as well. At the time of launch, it's probably what you'd expect. Now, Shi No Numa at launch, get in the bin, you didn't need to exist. My boy, you did have a wonderful trap with the flogger. You had randomized perks, which was a great introduction. Which reminds me, no, Verrückt's going up because had perks in. See what I mean by the 30 second thinking? Now, Shi No Numa at the time of launch, I didn't enjoy it. Nope. Verrückt World at War was a great improvement of Nacht at the time period, and I think it deserves to go a bit higher than Nacht, of course. I think that I don't need to say much more. I don't think anyone enjoys Shi No Numa. If you enjoy Shi No Numa, why? You hate yourself? Der Riese, at the time, Pack-a-Punch, Teleporter, Monkey Bombs. Do I need to add more? I feel like them three just talk for themselves. At the time, it was GOAT tier. It was the greatest World at War map. It was the greatest Zombies map at the time. And I think it goes up there. Let's go into Kino der Toten now. Now this, at the time, would have probably been a GOAT map to some people. But I see it as just another Der Riese. Teleporters are in the map. It's got 3 lanes. And it's just wasn't that good even at the time. I hate to say it. I hate to be that guy. But Kino wasn't. No. Now 5 at the time was also a shit map. And you at home were saying different right now. I think 5 was something that grew over time, but especially in that week period after the map's launch. At the time, I don't feel like anyone played it. I don't think even I played it. I saw people played it once maybe and didn't enjoy it. I like the new teleportation system. I liked the Winter's Howl. Winter's Howl is a really good weapon. I think at the time it just wasn't anything that anyone played or enjoyed. Ascension, really easy map, very casual built map. The first Easter egg as well. And I think at the time it got played quite a lot more because it introduced monkeys, and of course monkeys was a new variation of the Hellhounds. I'm trying to think what else Ascension did, but I remember Ascension being at least, at the time of the week of launch, it was definitely better than Kena. So I'm going to put it there. Of course, this list already seems really weird to me, but again, this is Tier Maker. 30 seconds in each one. Call of the Dead. At the time, the mini boss was amazing with George Romero. The Easter egg was actually pretty solid. Now, personally, I hate this map. I will say that now. However, it would be indicative and lying of me if I said Call of the Dead at the time wasn't at least pretty solid. I don't like the forced playstyle you get put into with Call of the Dead. You kind of have to survive. You have to go get PhD, then you got to go get Jug, and then you got to go Pack-a-Punch and 1911s. If you play the game anywhere else, how are you having fun? Shangri-La at the time. Shangri-La was probably the map that got improved most in BO3. Would it be fair to say that it was better than Kena in a week and a bit launch? Definitely not. Get in the bin. Shangri-La wasn't that good at the time. The baby gun, actually the baby gun saves you, Shangri-La. The baby gun saves you. Moon. Moon had quite a lot of nice little touches. It gives you the mini boss zombie back from Call of the Dead, but with a astronaut. You have the rave gun, and you have QEDs, which was also an Ascension actually, so that doesn't really matter as much. I love the teleportation system. You get the randomized perks back from Shi No Numa. At the time, average tier. The week period at the start of the map, it wasn't anything which people went, oh my god, my brains are going to explode by how good this is. We all know the next map. Transit. I do not hate Transit. Shocker. Now, if I was ranking this from me looking back and what I enjoy right now, Transit would not be in the bin. However, it did take time to grow, and I would say in a week period, nobody played Transit once they did the Easter egg. If they were interested in the Easter egg, that was. Transit wasn't good for casual play. I mean, just look at the Pack-a-Punch, how I do that. It did have quite a few good innovations. Having an enemy that can spawn in a certain area with the denizens, if you like it or not, is your thing. The transportation that actually zombies can attack, and essentially, I guess, different, because you think about it, the teleporters, zombies can't really attack you when you're teleporting. I guess Shi No Numa, you could get attacked whilst doing the elevator thing, but nobody really ever did that. I guess 5 of the elevators, but again, it's not really the same atmosphere, if you get what I mean. Now, Bus Depot at the time. Bus Depot is a really good survival map. It does its job well. And in the week period, it did what it did. It needed just to be a nice map that people can just hop on and play. I remember doing that quite a bit just to try and get better BO2 zombies, and it's a pretty good map for that. Farm, at the time, very average. Very, very average. Definitely better than Bus Depot. This was another map which you could just train around on, get better at, and so on and so forth. And I think it deserves that average tier, especially in that week period. Town. Now, Town is the map that everyone and their mother was playing, and I am going to probably get hit in the comments for this. By the time, it was a greatest of all time map. Now, you might be like, hey? It didn't innovate. Of course it didn't innovate. But it was one of the best survival maps. You could play Grief on it, and Grief was really fun on that map at the time. And I think it's just, all in all, if you think of survival maps, Town, Farm, Bus Depot, I would put Nacht in there as well, maybe even Verrückt. I guess that feels a bit survival map-ish. Town's the one that's the golden egg from that list, and I feel like I'm justified by putting that there. Now, Nuketown Zombies, at the time of launch, I didn't enjoy it. It was an easy-ish map, I'll put it that way. You just train the gardens, so on and so forth. Bit boring, didn't really add no. I will say that the randomized perk drops and the randomized Pack-a-Punch drops did add to it and add to it, but it wasn't anything which blew me out of the water. And it made the game sometimes unfun, it made the game sometimes fun. It's a mixed bag. Jolly J, in my personal opinion, at the time of launch, Die Rise was a good tier map. Let the hate rain in. Let the hate rain in. I do not regret this. I do not regret this. Man, you know that now. This Slick with Fire, fun. All the buildables, really fun and unique. Getting swung across the map. Who can tell me that they did not have fun at playing Die Rise? Like, yeah, sometimes you fell off the map and died, but that's your own idiocracy. You're having a go at this map because you're being stupid and you threw yourself off the map? Pfft, please. Die Rise was a good tier map. Just admit it and admit you're wrong. Okay? Mob of the Dead. Okay. Everyone knows I hate Mob of the Dead. And I hate it because it doesn't fit my playstyle. However, because its tier list is a weak and more of a community perspective on the map, I think Mob of the Dead doesn't do well for the casual player. It does well for the normal player, like us. Well, I'd say I'm a normal player. I'm not too into the Easter eggs, but I want to at least do them. And I sometimes want to casually play it, you know. I just want to do what I want to do at the time. And Mob of the Dead does good with that, with the afterlife system. Quite a lot of good innovations. The Tomahawk as well. Hell's Retriever, Hell's Redeemer. The Easter egg was really fun. Unique boss fight at the end. And at the time, go tier. Even though I hate it, it was the greatest of all time map to the community at the time, and I agree with that. Now, Buried. Buried. It's a good tier map. It's not bad. It's not bad. Again, I like the Paralyzer. That is essentially what the... I can't remember what jet gun from Transit should have been. And it was a really fun and unique weapon. If you also don't think that a jet gun exists. Who actually even used a jet gun? I didn't. So it doesn't exist in our minds. But Buried had an interesting layout. I like the verticality of it, even though people aren't realising there's quite a lot of verticality in Buried, which is really weird for a map that's called Buried in a cave system. I love the idea of Pack-a-Punch being through a mini-boss that can only spawn in a certain area, which we saw in Transit as well, if you think about it. I like the idea of the extra perk system, especially with the ballistic knives. That's it. And the dartboard and the piano, and also just killing the witches. It's a very interesting map and well-designed map. Definitely aim more towards a casual player until you actually do the Easter egg, and then the Easter egg is what's for the hardcore players. Origins. Everyone knows I hate Origins as well. Origins to me feels like Call of the Dead. It has a fixed narrative because you need to be able to get really powerful to take on that first Panzer on round 9 or 8 or something. At the time, the Wonder Weapons were the greatest Wonder Weapons of all time, and it would be lying of me if I did not put Origins in the greatest of all time tier. Even though I don't like it, I can at least acknowledge that it was a top tier map. Now, Shadows of Evil, at the time of launch and that week, get in the bin. Nobody liked this map. Do not lie to me and say, oh, I always loved Shadows of Evil. I was a man of quality. Fuck off, because you're lying. Okay? Nobody played Shadows of Evil. Everyone was playing the Giant whenever I checked. I still hate Shadows, but at least I can acknowledge that it did fix itself down the line. And I think everyone just can admit and agree now that they did not like Shadows at launch, and you can be lying to me if you want. Next up is the Giant. I don't know why the Giant's in front of eyes are dragged down here. The Giant at the time is just average tier. It was the map that got played all the time at BO3's launch. We just expected it to be a Darius remaster. It pretty much was. The only change is that there's more snow, and I think that's it. There's a Easter egg reward where you get the Annihilator pistol. It was what we expected, you know, it was average. I don't think anyone can say less. So next we've got the Eisendrache. At the time, greatest of all time, innovated on the staffs, and that's pretty much all you need to say. The map design was really solid, the Easter egg was really solid. Technically the first boss fight we had in Treyarch Zombies, because who counts the Shadows of Evil shoot Shadow Man a couple times and then put him in a book, and then the sphere? Who counts that? Who counts that as a boss fight? Do you count as a boss fight? I feel sorry for you if you do. Okay, Setsubo no Shima. See, I really enjoy this map at launch, but I think I have to agree why Kuna hates it. It's a very slow paced map, a lot of doors. Doesn't really help in that map because it doesn't flow well, the door layout. The challenges do help the flow a little bit, but not a lot. I love the pack-a-punch system though, where if you go into the bunker, there's one to your left, one in front of you, one to your right, and you get different ones per side you go on. I like the School of Non-Sapway. I feel like it was a good map, but the community didn't enjoy it, and that's why I'm putting it in the bad tier. Gorod Krovi. I'm sorry to break it to you, JC, but this is just an average map. It's not great about the map. I liked the egg quest, I liked the challenge podiums, but that kind of just was Setsubo no Shima. I see Gorod Krovi as just being Setsubo no Shima 2.0, in the sense that there's a nice little specialist quest to go on, and then they've got the challenge podium that gives you extra rewards. Gorod Krovi, in my mind, I'm trying to think, again I'm going to give myself like 30 odd seconds to think of each map. I can't think of anything that stands out in Gorod Krovi. Maybe the Monkey Bomb upgrade, but does everyone do that often enough to say that that's a top tier introduction? I feel like I'm justified. I don't think Gorod Krovi improved a lot. It's very average to say that Setsubo. It's literally Setsubo no Shima 2.0 and done well. Revelations. Okay, we didn't complete the Easter egg in the first week, but you can't lie, that map was fun just to play casually. Get the Apothecary Servant, pack-a-punch it, just go through rounds, have fun, chill with your friends. Very easy map, of course. Easy doesn't always necessarily mean fun, but I feel like Revelations was just a nice little fun time to play with your friends. I will say the blue screens did ruin it a bit. Of course, I'm taking the blue screens out of this. I feel like the design of the map was pretty solid as well. Voyage of Despair. Okay. I really like the Chaos Story in all the maps. At the time, get in the bin. I did not enjoy Voyage of Despair first week. We had 150 HP at the time, which, looking back now, could have probably actually been good for Black Ops 4 Zombies in the long run. But we'll never know. Voyage of Despair had the Kraken, 4 upgrades to it. The upgrades were just basically shoot different body parts from the catalyst, pick it up, and so on and so forth. Wasn't anything too interesting on upgrading that. Yeah, just a pretty meh weapon. 9. I'm gonna get steak for this. 9 was the greatest of all time map at launch. This was the map that everyone would go on. Everyone. It was the most fun map to play. It worked well with the 150 HP. This map was clearly 100% designed for the casual player. And although there's quite a few side Easter eggs, it's got an okay-ish Easter egg. I feel like just the general map play makes it one of the greatest of all time. Blood of the Dead. Does anyone disagree? No? Let's move on. Classified. It's a 5 remake. We all expected it. Let's move on. Dead of the Night. Oh, no marketing. is something that people give this map stick for. I am not giving the map stick for that. I will, however, say that the Pack-a-Punch system is one of the greatest ways to unlock Pack-a-Punch. I hear these influencers, I hear these people who just listen to these influencers and just repeat what they say and just go, it's too difficult. Okay, let's look at a big run. If you get a perk statue, that is in 2 different locations. It's not too difficult to understand that one. You could then get a painting or item. If it's a painting, it's just on the top floor of the mansion. Very simple. If it's an item, well, it can be in either of the 4 other areas of the mansion. How hard is that to grasp? I mean, I feel like people who complain about Pack-a-Punch just didn't realise how simple it is to learn how that works. And of course there's the clocks, which is 3 different locations. Like, I would not say that's any different from Shadows of Evil. And you might be like, huh? Shadows of Evil has 6 spots. Yeah, I agree. However, casual players, I have casual friends who still do not know how to do the Shadows of Evil Pack-a-Punch. However, know how to do the Dead of the Night Pack-a-Punch. Now, the reason why Shadows of Evil Pack-a-Punch is difficult for my casual friends is because all the boxes are just outside your line of sight. You've actually got to look in an odd place, I guess, to actually see it and go, oh, I need to slap that. And or I have to electrocute something sometimes as well. Dead of the Night is not as bad as everyone makes out to be. I am putting Dead of the Night in a good tier map. And I feel like people will be disagreeing with me. We have to scroll down now to get to these. Ancient Evil. I hear people groaning in the chat. Ancient Evil is the greatest of all time map. Simply being, Ancient Evil had one of the best storylines. The Easter egg flowed with the map and the progression of the map. The map progressed with you progressing through the Easter egg. What more could you want? Again, casual players, there's not a lot there going for you. And I'm afraid that's something they're just going to take on the chin. I mean, I'd probably say Dead of the Night's more for you. And probably 9 for the casual player. But Ancient Evil, for the story geeks out there, for the Easter egg players out there, that is a map for you. And I feel like people just throw it underneath a cliff because it's not A for story. And it's pretty much in an easy game, I guess. BO4 is pretty easy with the specialist, but saying that, BO3 was pretty easy anyway. I'd probably say BO3 is easier than BO4. I can get to round 30 on BO3 a lot easier than BO4. So let's just go down before all the comments leave bad words. Alpha Omega at the time. Bad tier. Who enjoyed Alpha Omega? Let's be honest. The ray gun upgrades was really fun. The Easter egg, not so fun. It just felt like you run around the map, get the things. I can't remember the Easter egg, I'll be honest, because it's such a bad Easter egg. I don't feel like Alpha Omega was strong in a sense. I feel like it really relied on the ray gun upgrades, and that's pretty much it. Tag der Toten. The end of Aether. This is very difficult for me because I kind of like Tag der Toten myself. The Easter egg is very slow, and I think that's what's going to make it a bad tier map. For me personally, I like casually playing Tag der Toten, but I think the slow-paced nature of Tag der Toten, especially in the Easter egg, just made it unenjoyable for me. So yeah, let's just zoom this out a little bit. Oh, well, that's a lot better. We could have just done it on one thing this whole time. That's a lesson learned for next week. That is my full tier list. So let's start actually ranking them in the tiers. So what do I think is the greatest of all time? Actually, let's start at the bottom. What map do I think is the worst map of all time? It's already there. It's Blood of the Dead. I don't think Blood of the Dead's that strong. We'll quickly just rearrange these. We'll go through all of them. But I would probably put Shi No Numa next. probably go 5 Transit, and then I'll probably put Voyager Spare for the first week, better than Shadows of Evil. And then here, Tag the Tone was definitely the strongest in that first week, and probably Shang, Buzz Deeper. Yeah, I think that's probably solid there. Probably go Knacked, Classified, Moon, Farm, Giant Ascension, Giant Gold Kirby Ascension, Buried, Dead of the Night, Call of the Dead, Revelations, Die Rise Revoked. And in my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in my 7th place spot would probably be Town. 6 would be 9. 5th would be Derice. 4th would be Mob the Dead. 3rd would be Origins. 2nd, Ancient Evil. And number 1, the Eisendrache. That is my full tier list. Tell me what you think in the description. And remember, I did this within the first week of the map releasing. I did that again, of course, to make sure that I had a set tier and time period. Because, of course, I can list these now just based on my personal opinion. And then down the line, Rogues might find an Easter egg which completely changes the map and makes it amazing. You can, like, I don't know, fly a spaceship or something. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think down in the live chat if you're in the premiere, or in the comments if you're watching this as just a video. I have been Newbie, and I'll see you all next time. And remember, do your tier maker list in the description. There'll be a link, and send it to me on Twitter. Again, in the description. I'll see you all next time. Bye.